What's up guys, it's Next from Gamer Theories with a very late episode 3, The Queen's Justice breakdown and analysis. For anyone who has already seen episode 4, please respect those who haven't and don't post spoilers in the comments. Alright, let's get started. The first thing I want to talk about is the exchange between Melisandre and Varys. I think this is probably the last time we'll see Mel this season, given that she's off to Volantis, but whenever we do see her next, I'm excited to find out what business she has out there. Will it involve a possible return of Quaithe, maybe even Kinvara? Honestly, I just want to see one of their temples, and for one of them to tell us what the bloody voice said when Varys had his junk thrown in the fire. Also, I noticed a lot of people dismiss the comments about how they're both going to die in Westeros, as if it's said figuratively like all men must die. What show do you think we're watching? Not everything has to mean something, but that certainly does, and if you want my thoughts on how I think Varys is going to die, then make sure you check out my double agent theory. Let's move on to Theon's rescue. I'm going to do a poll now and I want to see how many of you think that Theon is still alive to serve a greater purpose than just being the village punching bag. So which is it? 1. He will be the one to save Yara, or 2. He will try but he will be killed by Euron. Speaking of the latter, Euron completely steals the show again. Such awesome dialogue and further taunting of Jaime, a finger in the bum. He's definitely becoming the troll of Game of Thrones. I honestly do believe there is a reason why he went from wanting to kill his niece and nephew to him keeping Yara alive. And just for the record, those who don't know much about Euron, he has raped his brothers, so just a warning that some awful shit might be coming our way. Also, how many awesome entrances are they going to give this guy? Staying in the capital, I had this odd sense of neutrality watching Cersei versus Ilaria because in some respects you could say that it was justified. I really hope we'll see an aftermath of that poison though, just for brutality's sakes. And I'll tell you what, it's like Cersei's making a little collection of play toys. First, Scepter Unella, and now Ilaria. Who's next? Time for another poll, just on Cersei's little statement that Qyburn is the cleverest man she knows. Who do you think the cleverest person is? Qyburn, Tyrion, or Samwell? Cersei seducing Jaime is definitely her just manipulating him. She knows that she has to keep him on board as the Lannister army are sworn to Jaime, not her. But I honestly think that she really doesn't give a shit about him and that her ego is just being fed. Because they're winning the war, at this point, she thinks everything is under control and that she's untouchable, not even caring if people see her and Jaime together. The arrogance of her meeting with the Iron Bank, again, look at the dialogue carefully. Sometimes tragedies are necessary to restore order and rational leadership. Where can you think something like that has happened before? You do not cross the Iron Bank, they are in this story for a reason. Moving on to Winterfell, just put a time bomb on Baelish now. Actually, just get it done with already. They don't need to drag out the fact that he is going to die any longer. I'm bored of listening to Sansa shun him and then her thinking that she's this sick player of the game because she took 6 seasons to figure out that only a fool would trust Littlefinger. It was nice to add another Stark to the picture, with Bran coming back, although is he even a Stark anymore?
You're Lord of Winterfell now.
I can never be Lord of Winterfell. I can never be Lord of anything. I'm the Three-Eyed Raven.
It really wouldn't have been difficult for Bran to explain what's going on, about Greensight, about skin changing, and how he inherited the role of the Three-Eyed Raven from the old one who was killed north of the wall. His mind is so broken now though in terms of being Brandon Stark. He hasn't seen his sister in years, and one of the first things he wants to tell her is how beautiful she looked the night she was raped on her wedding night. At this point, I'm desperate to see his interaction with Jon. What information does he have that will help him against the White Walkers? Also, when are we going to see this vision that he's in? Was the trailer right and he's in the crow that's flying over the Night King? Or are they yanking us again and really he's having another vision from the past? Over at the Citadel, I think I share the same feelings as everyone with how quick Jorah was cured. We didn't even get paid off with how they did it. Did he literally just have to cut away the layers of infection and then apply the ointment? Or are they saving that reveal for when he gets back to Daenerys? All I know is that they didn't cure Shireen that way. She still had the grayscale on her face. It was definitely a bit emotional though, with Sam offering his trust to shake hands before they departed. Very touching indeed. With everything going wrong in Camp Dany, I think she desperately needs someone like Jorah by her side. I'm not sure you can entirely blame Tyrion for what's happened, but at the same time, how can you just completely forget about the Iron Fleet twice? And the move for Casterly Rock was just awful. That part 100% came from Tyrion's personal vendetta against Cersei. As for Sam, he's now tasked with making copies of these ancient looking scrolls and manuscripts, and for once, I'm like, can you stop playing us and please let him find something of worth in them? Maybe even Archmaester Ebrose knows and has set it up that way. Or maybe Sam is going to have to break into the restricted area again. At this point, I'm definitely longing for that Sam and Jon reunion. Now then, let's wrap this up with the attack on Casterly Rock. This was way too easy to call, and I honestly have no idea what they were thinking. How was this ever going to help them, even if Jaime and Cersei left any gold and provisions? Tyrion's ego is starting to badly hurt them. The fact that they're not even scouting out these places before executing full-blown battle plans is ridiculous. Things obviously went wrong for them with Euron turning up to destroy their ships, but I honestly thought a Grey Worm might have fallen during the sacking. Still though, this situation is not yet finished, and they still must somehow get back to Dragonstone, which is on the complete opposite side of Westeros. Jaime stated himself that they won't be able to hold Casterly Rock for long and how they'll have to travel back on foot. Speaking of Jaime, for me, the best scene in the entire episode was easily his showdown with the Queen of Thorns. Olenna Tyrell bowed out in arguably the most savage way possible. Even though she will die from that poison, she completely got one over on Cersei, and personally, I think she did more damage than she intended. For Jaime, this is the first time that he knows for a fact that Tyrion was innocent. And not only just that, but his father and Cersei twisted and fabricated the entire trial in order to try and have Tyrion killed. I keep saying that Jaime is being pushed and pushed further away from Cersei, and right now he is clinging on. This seed that Olenna has now planted will only grow. I still don't think Jaime will be the one to kill Cersei, but take away this sexual manipulation and he is for sure on the verge of leaving. Thank you for watching guys, I really do apologise about how late this one was. I've just been struggling with my vocal cords over this past week. I hope you all keep well, 7 blessings, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.